Tonight's episode is a Halloween themed one for the season we are in. And tonight's categories will be horror remakes, movies that scared you when you were a kid, and finally, scary movies that are non-horror movies. So that'll be an interesting category to go through. Myself and my panel here tonight will give you our 4 movies for each of those categories. And we're going to start with Mr. Bombastic.
Howdy.
What's going on?
How are we tonight? The Rushmore Four, huh?
Yes. New idea. New twist.
I like the branding. I like the branding.
Yeah. So good to have
you.
Yeah,
because with this, it forces you to go outside of my favorites, and now it has to be representative of whatever you're talking about. So you have to take into account movies you don't like or whatever it might be.
And we'll have fun with this show as we go on, with categories and things like that. Yeah. It won't just be movies; it'll be everything. So,
boobs, yeah. I mean, that's actually
cakes, boobs. That'll be just Graham's.
Yeah, boobs is actually like an 8 thing, really. It's
yeah. So, also tonight, speaking of boobs, Flesh Wound Dan.
Did somebody say boobs?
'Tis but me a flesh wound, Dan.
Yes. I'm here with you tonight. I could be with the Miss Extreme girls, so that tells you how important this show is.
Means he likes cock more than boobs, apparently.
Does,
man. Yeah. I guess
I'm not going to touch your wiener, Dan, at the end of this. Just
too much time in California. What can I say?
Well, thanks for being here. Anyway, I know, even though you don't want to. And this guy just celebrated 1 year without sodies. So, of course, I got to play this.
And what are you drinking during the day?
Sodies.
Sody
pops.
Okay. And how much do you think you drink a day?
8 to 12 a day.
At least a minimum of 12 a day. Now gone from my life for a whole entire year.
Drinking 12 a day?
At least, bare minimum, 12 to about 24.
I think I saw you do about 22 once.
Man, that's a lot of fucking liquid. Like
you piss more than a pregnant chick, from what I hear. I don't have a wife or anything like that, obviously.
I mean, they pee a lot, homie. Women in general pee a lot.
Like I've had to. The most I've pissed constantly for a 12-hour period was every 20 minutes. I was just playing World of Warcraft and being like, all right, I gotta go. I'll be right back. And coming back.
Should just put a bucket between your legs and just
that's what we joke about the Call of Duty players. Whenever a new Call of Duty comes out, they just have a Home Depot bucket and they just shit in it and get master prestige. So, but now I'm on chocolate milk, causing weight gain, but fuck it. So
I mean, you can get those camping toilet lids to just put on a bucket. So what the hell?
Yeah. Yep. Just hanging off you ever seen the truck ones? Like to where the hitch goes?
Yeah. Oh wow. Anyway, we're talking some movies tonight. We'll talk some horror movies tonight. You guys have you guys been watching a lot for the Halloween season this year so far?
I wouldn't say I ramped it up any. I've been pretty heavy since last year, man. Like,
yeah.
I'm just cruising.
It's Halloween all year.
I mean, a lot of new stuff came out, so I've been checking that out. I guess that's the only thing that's really changed. What about you guys?
I've actually watched way less than normal, but
I think I'm ready to take a big break from horror, dude. I'm gonna watch some big boy adult movies.
Yeah.
See what that's about again.
I started that Fall of the House of Usher show last night. Pretty good so far. Modern day retelling of that story on Netflix. So that's pretty good. I'm addicted just about. So 6 episodes and done. So you can kind of.
I like that, dude. I like that.
Yeah. It tells a full story.
Slasher, Freddy, Jason, Michael, Leatherface. I mean, I think that's.
I like that Jess Graham's just making his own categories to.
He is, man. He's just
play with here.
Mount Rushmore of penises, Jess. Let's hear it.
There you go. By the way, anybody in the chat, once we get these categories going, throw your Mount Rushmore for each one out there. We'll bring them up. I may have a point here where I got to step out for a few minutes. We've got a house guest coming, and want to make sure I greet them when they get here. So
nice.
Gonna get a real talk.
Rachel?
Real talk.
Real talk.
Not Rachel. No.
This is for you in the chat, Brian.
B-Rod.
There you go.
D-Roni.
And for best penises, he has mine, and John.
John Holmes. John Holmes did have a beautiful cock, didn't he? I think it was nice.
A lot of girls wouldn't let him stick it in because it was just like a
I
horse.
get it, dude, but I would want that as just a carrying around penis, right? That's like the one I want to fucking take to the gym, you know? That's my showing it off penis, you know? Like it's not very practical. But you know, you want to look your best, you know? So
Yeah. That is
Imagine
kind
the
of like a
situation you had in grade school when you couldn't control it. You imagine his troubles.
he probably passed out immediately.
He can't even Buffalo Bill that thing. I mean, shit.
No.
Like you don't even have that option.
No.
But still, that's a problem you want to have. You don't have anybody going around, well, I got a huge dick. Well, you know.
My dick's so giant. And
Girls
he did have
are
to do
afraid of it.
gay porn at the end there, though.
John Holmes?
Yeah.
A lot back then Peter North did.
Well, I'm talking about like Wonderland, which I'm only going to take a moment of time. Have you seen the movie Wonderland? Anybody? Val Kilmer?
Yeah.
That's one of the best fucking Val Kilmer movies ever that no one talks about. Like by that time, he's like firmly fucked, dude. He's super addicted to fucking heroin and blow. And he can't work in the industry anymore. So he has to do like those low budget gay porn movies.
Val Kilmer also did a few around that time. Salton Sea is another one that's really good. Wonderland's great though.
Wonderland is fan-fucking-tastic.
There's one of the DVDs, I think there's two versions, but there's one that has a documentary on him and the murders that are
actually, I need to check.
That's really good.
Dylan McDermott is great in that one too. Like it's fucking Phoebe from Friends is good in that movie. I mean, everybody's just great.
We'll say a side note to that, going along with that, Scott Michaels, the guy that did the 6 Degrees of Helter Skelter doc, little video in the Wonderland house, and he said that was the only place he was really had an uncomfortable feeling in. So
that's one I need to go back and watch again. Does that have a good release, Dan?
Which one?
Wonderland. No, Wonderland. I have the DVD from fucking ever ago.
Yeah, it hasn't had a proper re-release. I hope it gets one. In fact, tonight we are Kino. Yeah, I was just
that's who needs to do it.
Yeah,
I've got a few non-horror ones I'm actually excited to talk about tonight. So
nice,
should be interesting.
Awesome. Well, we're going to start with horror remakes and go around and give our Mount Rushmores for the horror remakes that we enjoy. But before we start with the picks themselves, did anybody have any honorable mentions for this category?
I'm going to go with, people are going to hate me, okay? But this is one that was like kind of popped in my head briefly, but I knew like it couldn't go on the Mount Rushmore, but I just really enjoy it, is the Child's Play remake. Like if it's not called Child's Play and you just like made the doll look different, that's a fucking modern classic, I think.
Let's see. Honorable mention for that one. I would throw out, it didn't quite make my list, but the first Black Christmas remake. It's impossible to top the first one. So I think that did exactly what it did.
And that is such a weird opinion now, because I agree. I agreed then it wasn't bad, but that used to be reviled. I mean, people they would point at that, and I wonder if that other one coming out helped it.
I think it did. I think also the problem with that film is I don't think a lot of people went to see it, and it just kind of got lumped in with bad remakes.
Well, I think it was sold out Christmas night when I went to see it.
Yeah, I don't think it did huge box office though, and people just years go by and you just think, it was Prom Night, The Fog.
It was a fine film. I mean,
it came out around the same time as some real stinkers, and I think it just got lumped in there. But the first Black Christmas remake, it's different, doesn't take anything away from the original, and it's a really good time.
Michelle Trachtenberg in her prime.
Oh, Euro trip.
Yeah.
I got an honorable mention.
Sure.
The one that I have to mention, if it's not in my top 4 in my Rushmore, would be Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Okay.
Oh,
Kiefer Sutherland.
Yep.
yeah.
Nice.
Donald Sutherland.
No.
Oh yeah, Donald Sutherland.
And then-
Sorry, I knew it was a Sutherland. That was the remake of the Donald Sutherland. Is Kiefer?
Yeah.
They should have Kiefer Sutherland do one. That'd actually be
Really?
pretty cool.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess we'll start, and I'll go ahead and start. And thank you, Dash Your Life Hawaii, for the
Hey,
$10
thank
super
you.
sticker. Appreciate that so much.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm gonna just throw out the elephant in the room. The thing.
Yeah, so that's
mean,
everybody's
That
right.
had to be on there, so not
I
much
only
to
have
say
3
about
now.
that one.
No, I mean, I'm not.
It
Well, that's
is.
what I'm saying. This is going to overlap because, just like I
Yeah.
said at the beginning, it doesn't mean your favorite. This is representatory of the entire category, right? So if you want to put out the best for someone who's never seen a horror remake, what 4 do you tell them they got to watch?
Right. Yeah, that's. I
Yeah.
mean, that's. I
And
feel like
that's
that's
it.
on 90%
Like,
of
that's
people's
number
list, so-
one, right?
So I went and
I did
threw it
not
out.
pick it specifically because I knew it would be on your guys' list, but it's a masterpiece. So's the original, though. If you haven't seen the original, from
Oh
the
yeah, Thing
50s,
from Another World's awesome in its own way. It's a very.
Yeah.
I find them very different. So,
Yeah.
they are. Watch both if you haven't seen the
yeah.
first
Have you ever seen a giant carrot before?
one.
All right, Jonathan, you go ahead.
Come back to me because I have to. I would have.
All right, we'll go down then. We'll go
Yeah.
Orc next.
Who the fuck are we on?
Or
Your turn. Your turn.
Oh, okay,
Orc.
shit. Okay. Well, I only have 3 now. That came unprepared. All right, I'll go with the Hills Have Eyes remake.
Okay. I see.
oh goddamn, Orcat is good.
A lot of people prefer that over the original.
I do. It is so good.
Yeah, it's probably with one of my other picks from the 2000s. One of the best horror remakes of all time, in my opinion. I don't think anyone can really debate that. Like some like TCM are like debatable. People really love them or hate them, but yeah, Hills Have Eyes is like pedal
It's
to the
so
metal.
fucking brutal, dude.
Yeah.
And the fucking sting, like when shit's going down, it's this horrible fucking rumble. Right? It makes you feel very fucking uneasy, especially in the theater. That was a movie to see in theaters. Like just the big sound system. Oh man, that was terrifying.
If there's
Second
not
one
a
blows.
huge age difference between films like that we'll be talking about tonight in our top 4, it's very hard for an original to be eclipsed by the remake, and I think that happened here.
Absolutely. I think
Yeah,
I hope that's general consensus.
Yeah, I
Oh,
think it is
it's
quite a bit.
It's way better than the original film.
Absolutely. Part
I
2
have
though sucks for both of them.
It does, but it's a better part 2 as well, to be honest.
Has the
but,
famous Jet Jackson in it, R.I.P.
It does. Hills Have Eyes, though, the remake, genuinely terrifying. That one
Yes.
actually bothered people. Ted Levine is great. The whole cast is fantastic.
They're
But
remaking I Am Legend. Isn't that just an Omega Man remake?
well, yeah, that's the it's the book from Richard Matheson,
And,
I Am Legend.
And
Yeah.
the Last Man on Earth, right?
Last Man on Earth. Yeah, they've done it a bunch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever see, and we'll move on, but with I Am Legend, did you guys ever see the test footage of when they did the practical fucking walkers or whatever they were called in that movie instead of the CGI? Just how terrible it looked.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, they actually filmed the whole thing practical, and it was just so bad that they had to put bad CGI over it.
I actually think that movie's not terrible.
I like the
can watch
movie.
it.
The CGI creatures were the big problem.
Yeah.
Hey,
Thank you, Orc, for being a
who's this
new
guy?
member.
Who's
That's
this?
right.
Yeah. Who the fuck is this
Appreciate
guy?
it.
It was one of those films where I just love that story, the Matheson story, so much. It has its moments.
it's a
The moment
good
with the
story.
dog and the tub, I thought was really good.
Yeah.
It's not awful, but
Well,
Last
well,
Man on Earth is the best, in my opinion.
Mhm.
That's my pick.
All right. Go ahead, Dan, for your first one.
All right, so I had to go with the remake of the all-time great Nosferatu the Vampire with Klaus Kinski from 1979. It's one of those films where, Nosferatu was OG. I mean, we wouldn't maybe not even have a horror genre if it weren't for Nosferatu. And
Cape Fear absolutely counts. Cliff Booth. Sorry.
Yeah.
Nosferatu the Vampire, though, something that was destined to disappoint, but with great direction from Herzog and always compelling performance from Klaus Kinski. It was legitimately insane.
Thank you, Dasher Life, for becoming a member as well.
Yeah,
appreciate
sure.
Must watch.
Yeah, that's one I haven't seen, so I need to go check it out. And it's another one I don't feel like a lot of people talk about.
It's good, man. It's very good.
It is definitely a good one for Halloween too.
Jarring.
Screen Factory did a Blu-ray of that, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So cool. Jonathan, you got one ready to go?
I do. It Chapter 1 and 2. I'm just gonna kind of lump those together. Okay. It's the remake of the TV movie. I mean, I know that like I prefer the Tim Curry Pennywise, but I think you can't argue that those movies were very well done, especially the first one.
I remember going to the theater and seeing that, and when Georgie gets killed in the beginning, I'm like, this might be.
That's the first thing I thought. Oh, God damn.
Yeah.
He just bit his whole ass arm. Like that's what happens to him, but they do it in frame.
Yeah.
The kids are awesome. Like the kids really gel well together. They're no Jonathan Brandis, I'll tell you that much.
No.
But they're awesome. Was it Finn Wolford or whatever, the guy that plays Richie?
He's funny.
That kid's great, man. And I think he's growing out of it. Unfortunately, I think he's growing out of like how like funny and like interesting he is.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, he's pulling a Macaulay Culkin.
Get that money while you can.
I really enjoy that one. I like Skarsgård. Pennywise.
I think he does great too. He's just nobody's Tim Curry.
Yeah.
Nobody's Tim Curry.
No,
I don't. And
those were huge shoes to try to fill. So
you had to go in and understand. I've always thought like if in a perfect world, Tim Curry would have been like healthy enough, and like you just let Tim Curry do his thing, and you kind of try to make that movie around it.
Right. Yep.
It's not a perfect world, so
it's a great pick though. So, all right, my number 2 face on the Mount Rushmore of horror remakes will be Evil Dead.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Just another movie I was kind of surprised with what they did with and kind of how balls to the wall they went with it. So
it's weird. I know it's considered a remake. I just never got that from it. You know what I mean? Other than the fact that like that cabin probably shouldn't be there because of what happened in Army of Darkness. It completely just feels like a new story. Like, like someone else found the Necronomicon.
Right.
So, I mean, I would even go so far as say loosely a remake, but awesome movie.
Yeah. Yep.
They didn't try to do anything stupid and make somebody Ash, which would have been terrible.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cliff is a fan of the Nosferatu too.
Oh, it's so good. And you're right. A lot of people, for some reason, just haven't seen it, or they just think Nosferatu was.
It's good shit, man.
Yeah.
Now, another one that's good in that vein is I can't remember. Shadow of the Vampire, Embrace something. Willem Dafoe plays
Shadow of the Vampire.
Oh,
Shadow of the Vampire. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Willem Dafoe playing Max Schreck, like is actually a vampire.
Yeah.
Like, that's awesome.
That needs a proper new release.
Yes, it does.
Yeah. I don't know what the problem is with that.
All right, Orc, you got another one?
Yes, I do. All right, let's go. It's so hard to pick one because I don't know what other people are going to pick, but there's ones that a lot of people end up liking on these lists. I'll go with the House on Haunted Hill remake.
Okay.
That's a good one, dude.
I like that one a lot.
That's a good
Jeffrey Rush as Vincent Price is a blast in that movie.
Yeah, it's a great movie, man.
Yeah, it has Famke in it. That's
Yeah.
my girl. Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah, he channels Price in that movie. It was a great recasting, because how do you recast Vincent Price? And he just plays, not literally Price, but he plays Price perfectly.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's a great one. So
When
No
like,
arguments.
and I hadn't seen Jacob's Ladder, so when the patients are on the video, and they're like, or in the memories, whatever you want to call them, and their like heads are spazzing out. I didn't know about Jacob's Ladder yet, so this is like probably the early 2000s, no, late 90s, I'd say, when it came out, 99.
99. Yeah.
So
Jacob's
I,
Ladder's
I
a fucked up movie, dude.
it is.
I
It
don't like
is.
to go back to that one. I don't like what it makes me feel.
I've seen that one twice, but
God damn! Everybody, shut up! Sean McManus is in the chat.
what's up, Sean?
Pull that man up
What
on the
up,
screen. Where you been, my man? We tell stories about you like a fucking ghost story, dude. Be like, yo, remember you once upon a time.
Ireland
There
for
was
the
this
fucking
dude
win.
named Sean McManus.
Oh man, but yeah, great choice, Orc.
Very good choice.
Damn.
So, well, next up, speaking of Vincent Price, I've got to pick the 1986 remake of The Fly from David Cronenberg.
Absolutely.
I mean, again, I think The Fly and its sequel, Return of the Fly, are great films, but Cronenberg took this. It's his most commercial movie. So a lot of directors that are famous for one thing and then trying to make that transition to do something more commercial, it doesn't come out right.
Yeah.
He makes an all-time classic commercial monster movie that is just amazing. I mean, the insect,
beautifully
politics,
done. I mean, it was gorgeous.
everything, acting. That last scene before he literally comes apart is
Brundle,
the best.
The whole transformation, dude, is just every small portion of it is so gross.
Oh, it is.
Oh my god, when he's eating the donuts, he used to puke on them.
I don't think practical effects have ever been done better than The Fly.
I don't either, man. You think that just shows how talented those people were. Like technology being what it was. No way they could light those scenes as well as they could today. Like there's all kinds of things that somehow looks 10 times better.
It is. And I mean, I wouldn't say it's my favorite Cronenberg film. I legitimately love all of his movies, but it is up there. It holds up. It's a movie that I don't think has aged poorly at all. It works just like The Thing that you mentioned before. Like it is just, you could come out today and it would still, I think, be
the later like original Fly sequels are really fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'll say this. I believe that was probably my introduction to Jeff Goldblum. And while he is odd in real life, I've always felt there was something off about him. Just, I think because of him in that movie ever since. So.
Yeah, he's sort of an unsettling dude when he wants to be.
Yeah, he is a little bit.
I was introduced to him through Jurassic Park. So Ian Malcolm is Jeff Goldblum to me. Like it's just
it's weird how like sometimes your first exposure to someone
it's just who you see.
Program you to
yeah.
Now that's Ian Malcolm playing.
What's Ian Malcolm? Ian Malcolm can act his ass off. Look at him.
Oh, what's up, Joe Bob? See you out there.
Hey,
all right,
Joe
Jonathan,
Bob.
you're up.
I'm gonna go with the 03 Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Okay. I wondered if
I know it's not everybody's cup of tea, and I completely understand why it's not considered a good remake. But it's a pretty decent slasher, if nothing else, with a weird cannibal family twist.
Mm-hmm.
Go at it from there. It's not so bad. If you try to compare it to 74, right? No, there's no fucking comparison. But is it a fun little standalone movie? Absolutely. Bernarski fucking kills it as Leatherface, probably because of all the cocaine.
And hate.
Yeah.
Now, I know you've had you've told the story about being terrified to watch the original back in the
Yeah.
day. Was this remake the first one you saw, or did you see the original first?
It was. That's also not true. So I watched the original in like parts. I
Okay.
didn't like sit down and watch all the way through. Like I'd watch a stretch. IFC used to play it constantly back in like the early 2000s. So when I sat down and ordered this on pay-per-view when it came out and watched it, and I remember it was the first time I didn't want the movie to end. I was like really concerned if like there was a lot of the movie left. You know what I mean? I was like,
Right.
oh, this is such a good movie. I don't want this to end. So yeah. And then I did go back and watch that one in its entirety.
Sean's a fan too. I'm kind of in the middle of the road with it. I don't hate it. I don't love it. You know,
I think it's fine, man.
It's
I mean,
fine.
they're completely different things, and just again acknowledge that these are two different things entirely, and you can really have fun with it. And a lot of people argue that Texas Chainsaw, the beginning, the prequel to the remake, is one of the better of the whole series.
Right. Yep. All right. Number 3 for me, we mentioned Orc mentioned it earlier though. Invasion of the Body Snatchers from '78. Just a great movie. So I know we talked about it a little bit. So if you got your next one, Orc, we can skip ahead.
Yeah, my next one is Dawn of the Dead, the remake.
Okay.
Yeah,
Nice.
I think like Hills Have Eyes. It's not ramped up that much, but it's still a really good movie. It's one that
better.
everyone seems to like.
I think it's better. The original's so dull to me. I understand everybody loves it, but it is so boring.
I love the original. I love the remake too.
And you're allowed to, because this is America, Dan.
You can be wrong if you want.
You can be wrong if you want to.
My main issue with it, and of course I'm an original fan, but my main issue is I'm not a big fan of fast zombies. So I don't know if it's because what I've watched a lot growing up. But
you don't like. So what you're saying is you don't like whales?
No.
What about when old fat bitch sets up and fucking you know what I'm talking about? Like with the old fat woman who like cannot walk. Like they wheel her in the 03 when she turns into a zombie and she starts fucking.
She had a little bit of a run after that.
Really?
Yeah, she was in like Staunton Hill, the Cameron Romero film, and a few other things. Yeah, she was really good.
Okay. Another great pick, Orc.
Good.
Dan.
Up next, I have got to take the Maniac remake, which if you watch Flesh Wound...
Elijah Wood.
Yeah, if you watch Flesh Wound Features, you'll know like we're big fans of the original Maniac and Joe Spinell. And when they announced that, I was just like, man, there's no way you can replace Joe Spinell. I mean, he's just a man out of time. That performance was amazing.
No, Elijah Wood's a creepy little fucker.
Well, when they announced it, I was like, a lot of people were bitching as they tend to do on the internet. And I was like, guys, I don't know. He's pretty good. And, you know, Sin City had already been out, of course, at that point.
That's what I said. Sin City. That's like,
I can see it.
Yeah. Obviously, he can make this work.
Yeah. I knew that he was going to do a good job. That doesn't mean it was going to be a good movie. But sure enough, yeah, it's a fantastic film in its own right. I could never say I prefer it over the original because I don't, but it is just, once again, a little bit different, still in that vein. And I think being a super creepy performance from Elijah Wood that stands out. He's not doing the exact same thing as Spinell did. And I really admire that remake a lot. I wish it had gotten a bigger theatrical release. Unfortunately it didn't, but
I saw it on Amazon, dude. I didn't even know it went to theaters.
I think it might have been super limited, but yeah, I wish it did get a wider release. I feel like today with all this indie content hitting local theaters, it probably would have gotten.
Don't
a
you
little
love
more
that, by the
play.
way? I love all the indie stuff coming to theaters. I love all like the classic stuff getting limited runs again, so you get a chance to see it like that. I enjoy that.
Yeah.
I missed
Yeah.
House of a Thousand Corpses. Okay, he's back.
Yeah, I got to step out a minute, guys. But Jonathan, if you want to go with your next one, and I'll be back in a few minutes.
You're good. You're good. Yeah, take your time, buddy.
Yeah.
I can talk a lot about nothing. My other two have already been taken, so I'm trying to make it interesting, but I don't know what to pick.
I'm in the same spot.
Yeah,
I can
because
go
I mean, The
and-
Thing and The Fly are like, you know.
If you need a minute, I can do my last one.
Yeah, go ahead and do yours. I think I'm gonna look at my shit.
So just to jump around a little bit, this remake I actually think I prefer over the original, which I do like, but I think this was just a ton
Got
of
one.
fun. My Bloody Valentine.
Yeah, I've changed my mind on that one over time. I like it. At
It's-
first, I didn't like
Yeah.
it. First, I didn't like it. I was very angry.
Really?
That was the first movie they kind of tested real D, too.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Yeah.
saw it in theaters, dude. I was there.
Yeah, it
Gonna
was
see
fun.
a fucking slasher movie in 3D. Hell yes.
I think it's one of the cooler. That and Piranha, I think, were a lot of fun.
Piranha's
in 3D.
fucking great.
Yeah. The My Bloody Valentine remake, I think, does just about everything right.
That
And
opening sequence of that chick's naked for like 20 minutes, dude. I swear it's ridiculous. It's not.
and
20
you don't
minutes.
get that. You don't get that anymore.
No, but
And
that was like the entirety of like the
Full
prologue.
nude.
Yeah, it was, and it
Yeah.
was the whole time. It was hilarious.
Oh, it was so good. That movie's just a ton of fun. It's better than
It's got half a supernatural in it.
better than most modern slashers for sure. Sean McManus brings up the Blob remake, and obviously that's excellent. The Crazy
You know what? I can
remake.
take it or leave it, man.
Oh, you're not a
Take it or
fan of it?
leave it. I'm not even saying I'm not a fan. I'm like, I like it.
It's really good. Plus, I can see some people preferring it that don't have that love for 50s
Like the
science
McQueen
fiction.
one?
Yeah, 50s sci-fi. Some people just don't connect with it, but
I watch it way different because it's
Mhm.
it's just a different thing. You just have to watch it. It's silly.
yeah. Well, sure. He mentions the Crazies, which I actually like a lot, except
Crazies is good.
it's that nuclear explosion though that they just drive away from at the end. I'm like, ooh, you're really stretching logic here with that one.
Yeah, I like Timothy Oliphant.
Yeah. He's similar to Thomas Jane. I feel like he should have had a bigger career than he did.
I feel like he's probably had a bigger career than Thomas Jane. Like Thomas Jane just kind of like burn out like really fast for no reason.
He still works often, so I mean,
But he's not like he was the Punisher, and The Mist was that was the Frank Darabont movie. Like that was those things were fucking, those things made money. So like, putting him at the forefront of that was a big deal.
He was on the Expanse, which is a really good sci-fi show. That's one of the more recent things that he did that's really good if you're a fan of his.
Dasher, I'd pull you up if I could, but I love Day Shift, the Jamie Foxx movie.
That was better than I expected for
I expected it to not be good, but it was because I was thinking like that Will Smith, the Bright movie, was that him where he was like I was thinking along those lines, but no, man, Day Shift was real fun.
Sorry, guys, I'm back.
We're all good. We're all good.
All right, I guess ready for my last one here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, my last one's the House of Wax remake.
It's a good one.
It's kind of not a remake, really. It's a lot different than the original, but
hey, man, they build it as a remake.
Yeah,
it's the same name. It's a remake.
I think it's one that's grown a fandom over the years too.
I don't remember getting a lot of hate back in the day either.
Yeah,
it's certainly one of the best. I mean, I don't know. Those are all kind of bangers except Ghost Ship.
Opening
I'm gonna say,
a banger, but...
yeah, dude. If the opening of Ghost Ship continued throughout the whole movie, wow.
Yeah, Sean, the Paris Hilton one. So.
Oh, the Paris Hilton one's great, Sean.
Yeah.
If you don't know where, if you don't agree, you probably haven't seen it.
She's the reason that I think that one got hate because, and I was like, she's playing herself.
But she plays what she's supposed to be. Like,
yeah,
stupid bimbo blonde, boobs,
and
get killed. She did it perfectly.
It's a fun slasher. It really is. That's kind of similar to the first Black Christmas remake, where I think it was unfairly shit on for reasons that had nothing to do with the movie.
With theatrical at that time. That was around your Tarista's time too. So like that's what was fucking popular. So Hostel, Taristas, all that shit.
Yeah. And Orc, your fourth one was The Thing, right?
No, since I'm not doing any of that already got picked, so I'm gonna switch it up and go. This one does not touch the original at all because the original is one of the greatest horror movies ever made. I stand by that. If you don't agree, you're a noob. Let Me In is so.
Yes, Let the Right One In, and I usually don't consider that a great Let Me In that great, just because Let the Right One In is so fucking amazing. Like,
the bar is just so fucking high.
Too high. Yeah, it's too high. It's kind of a perfect movie. It really is. So anything it was going to remake it, the remake's fine. It's not a bad movie. It's just not Let the Right One In.
Yeah.
It's very close to it too, so it's kind of like, too close.
Yeah, kind of like but you know what, that works out sometimes, like the Funny Games remake with Michael Pitt. You know what, that's my number 4. The Funny Games remake with Michael Pitt.
Okay.
That one's fucking awesome, and that's shot for shot.
I haven't seen that one. So.
No, jump on that.
That's a fucked up movie, Corey.
I'll have to do that. Dan, your last one. We'll wrap this category up, I guess.
I did it actually. I think I skipped ahead.
While you were gone, yeah.
What was it? I'm sorry.
My Bloody Valentine, which I think is a really fun slasher movie.
Yeah, definitely.
Slasher.
All right. Well, I'm caught up then. So.
Told you we talk about nothing for a while.
Yeah. All right, we'll move on to the next category. The next category is the movies that scared you the most as a kid. And this time we'll start with Orc with his first one. Well, I will say first, if anybody has honorable mentions on this too.
Oh, okay. Honorable mentions.
All right, movies that scared you as a kid. Let's spice it up a little bit. Okay, well, this one scared me the most, so I have to go with it first. But the It TV movie, the first one.
That would have been like number 1 on mine. That fucked me up.
This one fucked me up so bad. I had to go to therapy for a whole entire year as a kid, and I was scared shitless.
Legitimately, dude, I'm not gonna say I haven't brought it up in therapy, but like, no, seriously, they fucked me. I couldn't look at the fucking vents in the floor of my house.
Can I be honest? The original is overrated. I didn't find it that scary at all.
Fuck
dick
you, Dan.
And get fucked, Dan. Go away.
It's a clown. I mean, it's a good performance from Tim Curry, but maybe it's just not being afraid of clowns. I never have been.
Did you watch that shit when you were like 9?
I probably watched it when I was like 4.
What year did it come out?
Out of here.
90.
Okay, 90. So it's not as effective for me either, but I think it's because I was like a mid-teenager when it came out. So
so I was born in 90, so I grew up with it.
Yeah,
no, that makes sense.
Me, so
all right, Dan.
All right, so this was the toughest category because I was just a weird kid, so I had to think of stuff that specifically unnerved me. And I found a lot of it wasn't horror.
There's a Peruvian
strangely
film.
Enough. No, but I will throw out one. I watched a lot of classic films with my mom. And at the time, I know she didn't consider this horror, and I probably wouldn't have either. But Night of the Hunter, the Charles Laughton film from
I know what you're talking about.
1955.
I get that.
Yeah, it is a horror film.
Yeah.
I thought film noir at the time. I watched a lot of that type of stuff with my mom. But I was very young, and I do remember it unnerving me a little bit as a very young kid. And I don't even think it's listed most places as a horror film, but that one did get to me a little bit for reasons I was so young I couldn't even tell you.
Robert Mitchum back in that era was pretty scary, dude. Jonathan.
Are we doing honorable mentions or these?
Yeah, if you got some, go ahead and then just go to your.
Yeah, I guess I'll just start my list. Fire in the Sky. That one, and that's completely circumstantial to me. Like I was at the video store and like I was at that age where I really like were starting to read, but like I'm not reading well. And I was convinced that Fire in the Sky was Page Master. And I really wanted to see Page Master. And so I took it up to my dad because this is where it all went off the rails, right? Like I took it to my dad. If it was my mom, she'd be like, "What the fuck? No, we're not." My dad was like, "Oh yeah, let's watch this." And it was terrifying. That is a great movie still to this day. Me and Corey have talked about it several times.
That scene with the when they're up there checking him out. Basically.
That's pretty I feel like that is
terrifying.
I feel like that's the bulk of the movie too. It feels like it goes on forever.
Yeah,
because the aliens look great. They look like really evil ET. Like they look Spielbergish. They look really good, and then the ship is almost like alive or something. It's like very like bio, like it's like organic, I guess.
Yeah,
fucked me up though. So
I think this is a dig at Dan with the Return to Oz.
I'm ignoring it.
And Sean McManus brings up Superman 3.
I can see that.
Yeah. So. All right, mine is my first one is I never learned how to swim, and I think part of it is partially due to this
because of Jaws. Yeah, dude, that's a great one. That's great.
So I watched Jaws 2 first. I think I've mentioned that's kind of the first movie I ever saw as a kid. And then when I went back and saw that one, it was I was kind of obsessed with sharks, but it's like that obsession you have with something that scares the shit out of you, you know?
Oh yeah, like that's pretty much why I like horror movies. And I bet if you guys dig, that's why you guys like horror movies, because at some point this was really fucking scary and you're like, I want to keep doing it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So yeah. Orc.
All right, my next one is, let me find the tab. All right, so this one is kind of like smaller things are scarier, no pun intended.
Mm-hmm.
But Trilogy
Little
of
pecker
Terror,
scare a big son bitch, Orc. Remember that.
That's what the ladies have told me my whole life. Trilogy of Terror, the little doll dude. Just goes, I need to fucking runs around, little fucking psycho. Huh? That thing scared the shit out of me when I was a kid.
Yeah. Yeah. Why wouldn't it?
Yeah.
It's like Chucky was scary, but then that little fucking Rastafarian doll.
What does he say?
He's like, I don't know, dude.
The Zuni fetish warrior. Yeah.
That's like one of the first big like scary doll coming to life things. They are at least one of the early ones I can remember.
Yeah. What was that, like late 70s? Is that when that came out?
Karen Black's in that, yeah.
75.
Yeah.
It's just funny because he's like this big and he's just the scariest little. You can't fucking kill him. Yeah.
Cliff Booth brings up a great one I remember too, Lady in White. That was a great one. Mm-hmm. And Candyman 2 was that Sean brings up.
Oh yeah. Anything when you're a kid and there has something that you could totally do at home to make it happen is something that's automatically.
Definitely. So, All right, Dan, what you got next?
Well, like I said, a lot of the stuff that scared me as a kid, it wasn't really horror movies. Those were always kind of comfort for me. So this one's definitely not a horror film, but it did disturb me. And that is 1985's Mask.
Shit.
With Eric Stoltz.
Yeah.
And I think it was
story.
When Cher birthed that potato. Yeah. I remember that movie.
I think it was something about the idea of the potato like fucking the girl and everything. It was just like, I don't know, something was unsettling about it. I know
he does look unnerving, but like that's the point.
Does.
Yeah.
Real dude. I mean, that's what
Yeah.
sucks. Like, that's what sucks. He's a real guy.
Real
Sam,
dude,
Sam
yeah.
Elliott in that too. I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah. He's cool as
He
shit
is.
in that movie.
Oh yeah, he's cool in
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
Really good movie. I mean, it wouldn't bother me today, but as a kid, there was just something.
No, I
Cher
don't.
still looks the
bugged me about
same.
I'd look at Cher. She doesn't.
She's got
Not Madonna bad, but
Oh, Madonna's scary now.
she is. Madonna looks like a Cenobite now. Like I'm not even. That's not even a joke. Look at her. Whoa.
Oh, man.
Whoa.
Cliff Booth says that was Conan O'Brien's first
His
role in show
show business. I thought somebody just beat the shit out of Carrot Top. Instead roll.
He just got curb stomped by
Yeah, they
Edward.
just hit him with a 2x4 several times.
All right.
You want this fucking Oscar?
All right, Jonathan.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre. That one legitimately fucked me up. And it was always because of what I was thinking it was going to be. Like, I would be just too fucking scared to continue.
Yeah.
Just thinking of what was going to happen.
You know, I remember the first time I tried to watch that, I stopped because it was even just the little narration at the beginning kind of freaked me out.
I was about to say, I made it the first time I made it through the scroll and then the dead body on the fucking gravestone. And I was like, nope, nope, not today. Not today is not the day.
Yeah.
That's like that opening, like title crawl it's pretty fucking unnerving.
It is.
It sets the mood just right.
Well done.
That holds up. One of the greatest horror films.
Never realized, till later it was Dan Fielding from Night Court. So
yeah, right. And he's still doing it.
Yeah.
That's also my favorite horror movie of all time.
So, it's up there.
Yeah.
All right, my next one. A couple of these I had on my little video I did for the Rad 9 movies that scared us, but me and my mom lived with my grandparents when I grew up, and I watched this and was terrified and thought I saw this character outside the window. So my grandpa, put a coat over his head and went out and tried to scare him away, but it was Frankenstein. So
nice.
So I thought I swore I saw Frankenstein outside the window.
It really bothered me that he accidentally killed the kid when I was younger. I don't know why. He just did.
Or clapped his ass off when he first saw it.
Yeah, fuck that bitch.
Bitch had
he threw her in the water.
Stupid bitch can't swim. She can drown. She did that. I wish they would have fucking Lenny'd her though, like he just hugged her too tight.
Yeah. No, I'm trying to think back the story I heard that they initially had cut that scene out, right? And then it kind of insinuated he molested her or something. Is that?
Oh, what? No, I didn't know this.
So they put it back in. I think I heard that somewhere.
Oh, I could see that. So, yeah, I could see that being a thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right, Orc.
This one's gonna make Dan happy. Hellraiser. So I saw this probably when I was I don't know, 8 or 9, and I was like, okay, parts of this movie are kind of turning me on, and then parts of this movie are really fucked up, and then parts of this movie, would someone actually do this to help someone survive? And then anytime Doug Bradley hit the screen, it was just like, or the Cenobites were there, I was just like, all right, fuck this shit. Yeah, easily in my top 4.
Orc's been wearing assless chaps ever since.
Ever since, man.
Yeah.
Ever since. His Gimp really appreciates that movie.
Never read the Hellbound Heart, but I don't know how to read, so I'm uneducated.
Short read, and it's a good book. Different.
I remember being younger, and everyone thought that Michael Myers and Freddy and Jason were cool, but there was something about Pinhead where it was kind of like the
taboo.
Yeah.
Like, we weren't supposed to see that. Yeah, no, it's still that way, dude. Like, I remember being in high school and, this would have been, mid-2000s. Like, it was not as easy to get anything, Hellraiser merch wise. Like you couldn't
Yep.
find a Hellraiser poster. You couldn't find.
Mhm.
Yeah, it just like wasn't like socially acceptable.
You couldn't find a Hellraiser folder to bring to school.
You could not.
It,
No.
it came
Here's
out.
the thing. Now you probably could because like kids love that shit. But
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you can now. I mean, it came out at the right time when the slasher boom was waning, and I remember seeing it, kind of expecting more or less that, and just having my mind blown. It's a shame it didn't come out just a few years earlier, and I think maybe they could have kept it on track. After the second film, of course.
second movie's great too.
Oh, second movie's fantastic. One of the best sequels. Tony Randall.
Watch them back to
Bro.
back. That's actually a lot of fun. Like if you ain't got anything going on that day,
Yeah.
watch those back to back.
Yeah, they connect perfectly. And considering all of the troubles that he had with the second film, the budget cuts, Andrew Robinson dropping out.
Pretty much everybody came back though.
Well, Andrew Robinson was like the big one. And I mean, he wasn't able to get him. And considering what all things considered, Tony Randall, I think, really brought home one of the greatest horror sequels ever made with Hellbound.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting for my arrow set. I hear the first movie is pretty incredible transfer wise. So
I have a really shitty Blu-ray of that, so it's sold out everywhere, man. I waited too long.
All right, Dan, what's your next one?
All right, third film. So I was always obsessed with like post-apocalyptic, end of the world type stuff. Still am. And this one's very common for a lot of people, but Day After. I remember watching it, and I knew what it was about, but of course I watched post-nuke type stuff before. And
That one's a little too real, though. That one's a little too.
It is, and it got me twice because at the very beginning of COVID, I had brought up as like, you know what? Let's do like a comedy commentary of The Day After, and this is at the very beginning where it's a lot of unknown shit. It's very scary. And it got me again then because I started it and I was like, man, I'm just not feeling this right now. I just mentally, because
Isn't there like an obscure Blu-ray release of that, or is it pretty widely available?
Oh, Kino put out a
Kino,
Blu-ray.
is it Kino? Okay.
Yeah, you can get it. It's it still holds up. I'd say Threads feels a little bit more grim than Day After, but oh man. Like at the time, it was weird because I was like, I don't know why this one's bothering me so much, but it's a little more grounded in reality. Obviously, I wasn't getting a Mad Max ripoff or anything like that. So
I remember watching The Day After when it aired, and it's kind of your first dose of reality of what could happen. So
like, oh yeah, this all is just being held together by a fucking thread.
Yeah.
Have fun, kids. Go to college.
All right, Jonathan, what's your next one?
This is gonna sound really dumb, but there's a sequel to the film Munchies, just called Munchie, and Dom DeLuise voices this weird little, I want to say like Greek Italian alien, and that thing scared the shit out of me when I was a child. I haven't seen that movie since. But I just remember being like, I thought I dreamed it for a long time. Like, I thought that was not like a real thing in the world. But turns out, yep, it is.
It's, weird shit'll scare the shit out of you when you're a kid. I remember my cousin being terrified of fucking Large Marge on Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Oh, I was too. It's that uncanny valley thing, like, because you can't explain it when you're a kid, right? Like,
yeah. All right, Munchie. I didn't expect Munchie on the list, but cool.
No, Day After than Munchie. That's
sorry, I didn't mean to change the tone, but yeah, Munchie scared the shit out of me. I need to go back and watch that again.
Yeah.
All right, so my next one, I remember going to a buddy's apartment one day after school. We were going to watch a movie, and it was later in the year because it got dark early. So I rode my bike over, and we were going to watch this new movie they rented, and it was Nightmare on Elm Street.
Nice.
And I remember riding my bike home after that, fucking terrified that Freddy was going to be around every corner. So, and it's still a movie. To me, the scariest of all those.
Oh no, for sure. That one's the first one's the. Hang on, choose my words wisely here. The first one's the only legitimately great movie.
I agree.
Yeah, the rest of them are just fun.
Yeah. Orc, are you still there? All right, we'll skip him for now. Dan.
Let's see. All right, this was my last one. I'll throw it out there. I mean, I was a little bit older. I wasn't a little kid, but I was still a kid. 7. Specifically, not just the movie itself, but at that point, I was just kind of starting to look into like true crime type stuff. And, I was aware of what a serial killer was and that they existed. But there was just something that one forced me to do like some reading, and probably way before I should have been looking into that stuff. And I don't know, there was that realization that, oh, wow, this kind of fucking evil is out there. There were serial killers, I think, operating around where I lived even at the time. So it disturbed me, not just the movie, but what I read into later. So it always is stuck in my memory. Watching it again now, when we're decades into the CSI boom, where we get a lot of that disturbing stuff just on network TV, it's not as powerful, but it does have sequences. I mean, Sloth, that scene where he just comes to life and there's like no,
oh man, everybody jumps, man.
There's no fucking way. I remember sitting in the theater and throwing my fucking drink because it's like, that's a goddamn zombie. Or was this a zombie movie now? Is that a twist? Like, what's going on here? So yeah, it holds up pretty well.
I still like it when I watch that movie. I'm sitting there on the edge of my seat anticipating him fucking jumping up.
Yeah. I can't ever get it either.
No,
it seems like it's always just like at the right off beat or something. You're not expecting it.
Yeah.
You know who else that guy played? Round not too much later. He was the Monopoly guy in Ace Ventura 2 that he punches in the face and like carries around on his back. That's Sloth.
Wow.
Among many other things, he was a stick figure of a dude, and same guy.
All right, we skipped York. What's your last one?
What was John's pick and your pick?
John was Munchie, and mine was Nightmare on Elm Street.
Okay. My last pick is Child's Play, the first one. No batteries in the back. Fuck this. And then he comes alive, and it's like, you stupid bitch, etc., etc., etc. And we all know the rest. Yeah.
You stupid fucking bitch.
Nice.
Filthy piece of shit, or whatever he says.
I think that's another one like It, where I was just too old for it to really hit me like it did for kids.
I had a My Buddy doll, dude. It was not for long after that.
No, I understand why.
I saw that when I was about 6, and just like everything about that movie, it's not scary overall, like as far as horror movies go, but like it's got like the cold like winter of like Chicago, and then like riding the subways by themselves, and how he dismantles people and kills them once he's in doll
Chris
form.
Sarandon being fucking Chris Sarandon.
Just like every part of it, like when he kills the doctor, the voodoo guy, when he's running around and he's flipped over in the cop car, all that shit.
The mom from Seventh Heaven.
Yeah. All right, Jonathan. Last one.
Mine was Child's Play. Or got it.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah, the same ones. Great minds think alike.
Nice. My last one, I've always said I've been kind of blessed. My mom would show me all these movies that I probably shouldn't watch when I did, but this one was my introduction to the zombie genre, And
That's a great release, man. That's the one I have.
I buy every release I find of it. So
that Millennium release is an awesome DVD.
Yeah.
It has the Night of the Living Bread on it as well.
Yeah, I showed the kids that one time, I think. So
we all need to go down to Pennsylvania, and I don't know if any of you've already done it, but the Night of the Living Dead Cemetery.
I want to.
I want to do it. Yeah, I want to do the Texas Chainsaw House before I do that, though.
I'm 100% down. In April, there's actually a film festival, the Riverside Drive-In, and we always go to, like I said, Night of Living Dead Cemetery. It's not too far from the mall from Dawn of the Dead.
Yeah,
and it's a lot of fun.
Nice. Yeah, definitely got to do that. But it was one. The opening is just perfect and just kind of builds from there. So.
Dude, I remember the first time I saw that movie, I was like, all right, it's in black and white. I've seen movies that are way more extreme than this. All right, this is picking up a little bit. Shit's hitting the fan. They're stuck in the house. And I was like, all right, how is this going to end?
Yeah.
And then he gets out of the basement.
And I'll shout out the remake, too. I do enjoy that updated version. So
Tom Savini, man.
Yeah. So I guess he went through hell doing that one, but it's
he did a good job.
I like it. So all right. So the final category are our scariest non-horror movies, and this is the category I'm most excited to hear everyone's picks for. So I'm going to start this one with Dan.
Oh, okay. So I revisited. Pardon me, because I'm just grabbing the cover here because it's a little bit obscure. It was actually a Showtime original from 2001, and the name of the movie is Things Behind the Sun with Kim Dickens. It's directed by Allison Anders, and so this is a drama, and it's about Allison Anders' true story. She was raped when she was a young child, and this movie is quite amazing considering the story behind it, because her actual story, like there was this song by Left Bank, Pretty Ballerina, I believe it was, that was actually playing in the house and allowed her to zone out what was actually happening to her. And this film, it's a little different from her true story, but it's to be honest, I just rewatched it. It's a little more uplifting than I remembered, but still disturbing. And this also has a very creepy performance from Eric Stoltz, but there's a little bit of a mystery that kind of unfolds because she's in a band in the movie, and there's this reporter that's compelled to do a story on her. And I won't reveal everything because I think this is probably, out of all of them, a movie I would bet probably nobody's even seen in the chat. It didn't get a theatrical release, which really sucks because Kim Dickens is just fantastic. If you don't recognize that name, she was on Sons of Anarchy, Lost. She starred in Fear the Walking Dead. It's a rough watch. It's not particularly graphic, but when it all kind of comes together at the end, I think it's a powerful film. It disturbed me when I first saw it, and I maybe less so the second time because I knew where it was going. But what makes this the most disturbing is she actually shoots in the same house where she was assaulted when she was young.
Oh, wow.
That's literally the same house. And if you're in the mood for something heavy, Things Behind the Sun, really, really good movie. It's only DVD. Like I said, it was a Showtime original. Maybe something else, Kino or something can get the rights to it.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Cool. Jonathan?
I had to kind of go back to when I was younger because that's like when stuff like that would scare me when it shouldn't. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I can't remember what year this is off the top of my head, but Copycat, Sigourney Weaver. That's a great fucking film,
95.
Man. And like the opening to that, where The opening, like 10 minutes of that movie, just scared the shit out of me, dude. I couldn't finish it.
Yeah. He's good as a serial killer in that too.
Yeah, the whole thing's great.
Yeah. So the opening in that bathroom scene, is that
The bathroom scene, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, and it's just so fucking, like, to me at that time especially, it was so graphic. They didn't cut away. There was no fucking, like, you got stabbed in the fucking stomach, so we're gonna hold on our eyes. No,
Yeah.
it was fucking terrible.
Yeah, I need to revisit that one. I've got it, I think. So I'll have to check that out.
Oh, it's a great fucking movie, dude.
My first one, I mean, it's kind of horror adjacent, but it's technically a documentary. And I've always been interested in this topic since I heard multiple shows on Art Bell about it. But it's the documentary The Nightmare about sleep paralysis.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about. The TV static people.
Yes. It's pretty terrifying, some of the stories those people have. And I remember on Art Bell, they always talked about the old hag on someone's chest, and those stories people told scared the shit out of me. So,
do you guys have sleep paralysis? Anybody ever get that?
Thankfully, no.
No, it's wild though.
Yeah.
The Nightmare is a doc about it.
That was my pick.
Yeah, it was his pick.
Oh, I can't. You're kind of behind it for some reason for me. I hope I'm not talking over anybody.
No,
no, you're not.
Yeah, that was the Corey's pick.
Yep.
Okay. I didn't hear the name, and I thought you were talking about something else.
No. All right, Ort, go ahead.
Trying to write everyone's picks down so I can eventually watch them before next summer. My shitty slow ass record.
This is the most disturbing part of the show. Sleep paralysis, sexual assault. It's all not uplifting stuff.
Yeah.
So what usually gets to me is stuff with AI. When AI gets out of control. A little bit with Aliens, just because there's some really creepy shit like Fire in the Sky, Fourth Kind, Parts of Signs. So the first, my honorable mention, because we didn't do those first, I have to do They Live. When you see that, if you're young enough, and even to this day, it's like when they're like, we have one that can see, and they're like, they're basically around.
Someone's doing laundry.
Holy shit. But like the
aliens coming for you, Orc. They're gonna just beam you through your roof.
Beam me up, Scotty. But yeah, that's just like that they're among us, and that's really it's one of my all-time favorite movies, definitely in my top 10. But just the concept of They Live is an honorable mention. My first pick will go to The Game, though, because this is literally everyone's in on it but you. Dan and I were talking before, and he's like, the ending is, give or take. It can be, it's believable up until the ending somewhat. But that's just, no matter how rich or broke you are, just like everyone's in on something except you, and you don't know who you can trust and who you can't.
Are you still getting that super loud noise?
Nope. You sound good now.
You're good.
You're good.
Something weird happened, dude. That was wild. Okay.
That's my number one.
Okay. I'm going to put you back in order so I don't get messed up. All right, Dan.
All right. One I'll throw out. So this is kind of hard to lump into any specific genre, but it's not a horror film. And that is director Rolf de Heer's 1993 Australian film Bad Boy Bubby. This particular movie is about a guy who essentially has spent the first 35 years of his life being raised in just this dank sort of dungeon by his crazy mom. So he's essentially feral. He's essentially feral. He doesn't know anything about the world outside. Nicholas Hope, who plays Bubby in this film, is amazing. I guess you could compare it to Nell with Jodie Foster in a certain way, but more disturbing. I mean, it's definitely horror adjacent in a lot of ways. There's a lot of unpleasant shit in here involving incest and just him finding out the hard way what the world's like on the outside, because in the movie his father shows up after 35 years and sort of sets into motion him actually leaving this place for the first time, and he can't really even talk. Really weird movie, and there's something unnerving about it. He's got like a pet cat that's dead. It's kind of disturbing as well. And if you haven't seen it, I do recommend it if you want disturbing movie night. Like I said, horror adjacent, so I could still kind of recommend it to horror fans. But yeah,
I like you.
Bad Boy Bubby.
You got the deep cuts because I haven't heard of either one of those. So
Bad Bubby?
well,
Bad Boy.
Bad Boy Bubby? Yeah.
Blue
Underground there, by the way. That's nice.
Yeah, this is a newer release from Umbrella.
Umbrella brings the heat.
They did a good job
Nice.
on this. Yeah.
All right, Jonathan. Next one.
Again, I'm going on my own theme here. Like, so when I saw the Mel Gibson movie Ransom when I was a kid, that was the first time I realized that I was pick-upable and stealable.
Okay.
And that one scared me pretty good, but that's not a horror movie in any way.
Well, that's the theme of this category, so it works. Cool. I haven't seen that one since it came out.
I love it, dude. Like, I watch it now. It's not scary, obviously, but it's just a good movie.
Yeah. You know, it's so weird, like, especially in the 80s. Like, I think all they ever talked about was kidnapping, and you just don't have that.
Yeah.
Anymore.
I mean, because you're going to get snatched, man.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. Your girlfriend has a plan if she ever tries to kidnap her. Like,
think about that line from that movie is
dead weight.
Like forever, like engraved and burnt into my mind. Give me back my son when he's on the phone. He's like,
yeah,
give me back my son. Little did we know that's how he would talk about people on the phone when he's drunk later. But
I'm a fucking man. I'll burn your house down. You'll blow me first.
I miss Mel Gibson being not old and racist or xenophobic or whatever they call it. I miss that. I miss like pre-Passion of the Christ Gibson.
Yeah.
That was gold.
All right, my second one here is, to me personally, I feel like the best true crime movie ever. Zodiac.
Oh, good one.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's some good shit.
Just incredibly terrifying, the murder scenes in the movie. And then that scene where Jake Gyllenhaal's in the basement of that one dude's house is just creepy as shit.
Long movie doesn't feel like it.
No, absolutely not.
Dude, when the couple's in the park in San Francisco and they're like, who's that? What's that over there? And you just see him walk up in his Zodiac attire, and you're just like, oh man, dude. You're like, what time is it? Is the sun coming up soon? Shit.
Yeah, and it's daytime and it's terrifying, you know.
Oh, that's me watching the movie. I'm like, fuck, I need light.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, great one. So, Oric, go ahead.
Oh shit, almost misclicked. Okay, so this is more with AI and stuff like that being annoying and things tracking you. Enemy of the State, Will Smith, Gene Hackman. Yeah, have the government up your ass with a fucking microscope. Kind of like Eddie Murphy said in Beverly Hills Cop. Yeah, the last thing you want in life.
Yeah, it's another one I haven't seen in years. I should go back.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Great pick.
That is a great pick.
Go ahead, Dan.
I had a bunch. I'm just sitting here thinking which one I want to bring up next, because this was like the category where I had a ton that I thought were noteworthy. But in terms, I would say the most disturbing movie that I'm showing tonight. This one's a little bit more known. I'm sure some of you have watched it, but the Greg Araki film Mysterious Skin with Joseph Gordon-Levitt. This one is way more hard to watch than any horror movie. It is absolutely brutal. Great supporting cast: Michelle Trachtenberg, Elizabeth Shue. It is. I can't really describe how rough this is. It deals with childhood abuse again, AIDS.
And not the delicious candy.
Yeah, a lot of really unpleasant sexual shit in this movie. Fantastic, but this one, like, trigger warnings for absolutely everything. It is not pleasant. It might put you in a really bad mood, but nonetheless, holy shit, is this good in terms of acting. I remember watching this and thinking, like, man, the fucking Third Rock from the Sun kid is going to be the biggest star in the world at the time.
And then kind of, but not really. And then kind of again, but not really.
Yeah, like for a minute, it felt like he was going to get there, and he really just didn't. But I'd say this is his best.
I like Third
movie.
Rock from the Sun. So
yeah, no, it's and the whole thing is, I don't want to reveal too much about this one because I think most people know the basic story, but it's
hit trending.
I didn't get to rewatch this one, but oh man, and it also technically it involves a UFO as well. I guess you can say that that's part of the story, but not literally, but that's incorporated into it. Yeah,
cool. That's another one I haven't heard of. So
don't watch that one unless you really want
your
when
Evil Works tomorrow. So.
Yeah, I don't usually watch stuff like that. So.
Is it out today? Oh,
it was out on the 27th on Shudder.
Oh, I missed it. I'm going to watch it.
You got it.
All right, Jonathan, got another one?
Would you guys say The Town That Dreaded Sundown? Is that a horror movie? What do you think?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. Well, then I'm lost. I didn't have many.
All right, that's fine. You kind of came in blind when you joined the show. All right, my next one. It's weird, when you get older, what things that scare you. And I thought the scenes in the Hurt Locker where he was defusing the bombs were terrifying. And just running around not knowing who was going to come after you on those streets was kind of a terrifying thought. I try to put myself in those characters when I'm watching it, and
for sure.
I would not want to be there. So, yeah. All right, Oric.
All right, mine's my third pick's easy. Terminator 2. Couldn't pick the first one because it's technically a horror movie, just like Alien. Terminator 2 because Skynet, AI, and I think people don't really realize how dangerous it is. Most people are, they're worried about conspiracy theories and shit like that. I think there's more pressing issues and things you have to worry about that people don't really get. And some people, like my brother, think it's fucking cute. Well, let's have a robot in our house. That's great.
So I gotta ask, you're probably just shitting yourself right now with everything going on, right?
Yeah. Yellowstone could blow. World War III could fucking happen at any moment. Nukes could fly. AI is getting stronger. Wow. It's communicating with each other.
Hey,
do people get that shit?
Listen. All that shit's going on. It's all better.
But we're gonna get sex bots, Orc. It's all good.
What if their cheeks clamp down too hard and it rips your dick off?
By the time you get the sex bots are going to be smart enough to ridicule your dick, so they'll turn you down.
Daniel Shine, you lied to me.
You just get one of those cheat codes like that they have on the old video games, and you just type
left, right, BA, start, or whatever the fuck.
Left, right, BA,
left boob, right boob. Twist them. It's like a bop it, twist it.
All right, Dan, your final one in this category.
Can I cheat and do a rapid fire?
Sure.
Why not?
Why not?
I'll give you guys some watch lists. So this is technically a comedy. It's probably the most disturbing comedy ever made. The Todd Solondz film Happiness.
Okay.
Throwing that one out. I won't go super in depth because you can look these up.
Boys,
Really
it's
good
caught
movie.
time. I'm gonna have to hop off here, but it's been real.
All right.
Later,
Thanks for stopping
Jonathan.
by.
Take care, Jonathan.
Have a good one. Yeah, Happiness from Todd Solondz. Philip Seymour Hoffman is excellent in this. It's disturbing. If you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. But one I would throw out there. Another one with Brooke Shields. This movie is extremely controversial, but I find a lot of people now haven't seen it. Pretty Baby. This movie caused tons of controversy because she was only, I believe, 12 when she made this. And if you see the movie, you'll know what that's all about. Now, it's a really good movie. It's just, I understand why people can't watch it considering how old she was when she made it. There's a good interview with her on this Blu-ray, though, where she kind of explains her thoughts on the film, and I do recommend you check that out.
Who put that one out, by the way?
Kino.
Okay.
Yeah, this is another Kino Studio Classics Blu-ray release.
With their releases.
They are indeed. So Sarah Silverman, very talented comedian, but this is one of her more serious films. It's called I Smile Back. Okay. This one made me see her in a different light. I mean, she can act her ass off, and I highly recommend you look into that. And let's see here. Disturbing. I literally just got this on Blu-ray. It's one of Decanalog. It's one of the Vinegar Syndrome sublabels. The Heart is Deceitful Above All Things, the Aja Argento film, which is almost it's based on a J.T. Leroy book, which is also naturally very upsetting. But this one's a little bit more controversial considering that it was her son in the film that like Me Too'd her later on, which kind of gives it, I don't know, there's something unusual about watching it now. It's got that clown house vibe, I guess you could say. Yeah. Not quite that bad, obviously, but yeah, that's another disturbing one I would throw out there. And let's see, I got two more. The film that got Jackie Earle Haley the Nightmare on Elm Street remake, Little Children. Really good movie with Kate Winslet and Patrick Wilson, Jennifer Connelly. You can see it in there. This movie is kind of why I defended his casting before I saw the movie. And last but not least, everybody's, I think, seen this one, but it does have a new doc coming out hopefully soon. Yeah. Kids.
Yeah.
Great film. I know we'll be covering this and the doc on our show once it finally we get access to it. So there you go. Some shit to depress you and make you feel bad going into the holiday season. We can, just you want to feel like crap.
I remember seeing Kids back in the day, and I never wanted to go back to it. So it was too much. So
heavy watch for sure. Yeah.
All right, my last one is I think I might have turned to work onto this one, but back in the day. But this is the most intense, terrifying movie I think I've seen, and it's fairly recent. It's Good Time. It's Robert Pattinson. The Safdie brothers did this one. It was the one before Uncut Gems. So
I like it better.
What you're saying, I like it better as well. And everyone who I talk to, whether if I'm getting an injection at the hospital or if I'm just like at the grocery store talking to someone around town that I know, they're like, A24 makes good films. And I'm like, oh, yeah. And they're like, you're kind of a horror guy, aren't you? And I'm like, yeah, not as much as I used to be. I'm kind of a casual. And they go, you've seen Uncut Gems, right? And I'm like, yeah, they put out that movie. And then every single time I recommend Good Time.
Yes, it's another one. I like I said, I try to put myself in those characters' position, and my God, the anxiety, of those characters is just incredible. So
Have you guys watched their previous film, Heaven Knows What?
I haven't seen that one.
The star of that film was literally just coming off of a heroin addiction. They found her on the street. Heaven Knows What. Check that out as well.
Nice. I'll have to do that because I love Uncut Gems too. But
yeah.
Okay, Oric, you're wrapping us up here.
Trying to
make
find
us feel like shit, Orc.
This is gonna make you feel like shit in a weird way, and it's too bad John had to leave. But
make us
right,
want the AI to fucking kill us and rip our dicks off with their ass cheeks.
We'll go a little bit Brave New World 1984, but this one, The Sixth Day, Arnold Schwarzenegger, cloning. Fuck that shit.
Oh,
Fuck it.
Okay.
What if someone just replaced you and then you just disappeared? How about that? Pretty scary if you think about it. If you really think deep about it.
Yeah.
Like when he's in the bushes and he's like, "That's my wife. That's my family." You know, even though it's
getting
an action.
fucked by me.
Yeah.
We'll have to do that as a category one time. I feel like that'd be a good one. Underrated Schwarzenegger movies. You know, not the big name ones, but stuff like that.
Yeah.
Be interesting. So, yeah, it was fun. A lot of titles in that category that I need to check out for sure. So, I want to thank you guys for coming on. This was a fun show. We'll do more of these. We'll do some different topics. Not just, like I said, not just movies. We'll do some other fun stuff down the road with this one. And I want to thank everyone. Thank everyone who's out there. Thank Orc and Dasher Life Hawaii for becoming channel members.
Yes.
And thank Dasher Life Hawaii for the $10 super sticker. So greatly appreciate that. And tonight we'll have another episode of Bell Classics coming up at midnight. And then I hope you will check out on Halloween Day a 10-hour Art Bell show with multiple shows, including ghost stories and EVPs. So should be a fun show that day. So hope everyone check some of that show out. Also, want to show a little love to Jessa Flux. You can check her out at jessadositall.com. So please do that. And also, you can go buy the October 2023 Hustler that she is featured in. So do that. Nice. Show some love to Jessa. Orc, Dan, you guys got anything you want to shout out there? Promote?
I know, let's see, Slashtober finale's coming up, and I believe it's tomorrow. We're watching classic Halloween commercials on our channel, so you can come hang out with us. And we've got like 10,000 shows I think we did this month. So just go back, Flesh Wound Features here on YouTube. You can go back, see what might interest you. But tomorrow, live commercials. Come hang out.
I feel like classic Halloween commercials is what I've watched the most this month. I've just kind of thrown them on in the background, you know.
Some Elvira, Coors Light.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I know Orc's getting ready to start Agenda Free TV 2.
Fuck yeah, dude.
It's going to take all of Steve's viewers. So.
Yep. No, if I have to say anything, I think you're doing a great job with this channel. There's a lot of good stuff that's coming up on S'mores Indoors and Flesh Wound Features. Support them if you can. If you can't, just stop by, give the video a like, view it, have a fun time, chat, shoot the shit, and
we like nudes as well.
Yes. Yeah. Speaking of that, I guess I will throw this out there too.
Yes.
November, a lot of people celebrate Thanksgiving in November. We're going to celebrate Spanksgiving here on S'mores Indoors with multiple weeks of porn star tournaments culminating into one huge money shot of a final. So look forward to that, I guess.
We're gonna have bloody boils all over our palms.
If you ever have found reasons to stop living and you really hate your life, Dan will give you new reasons to persevere. Yep.
So it should be pretty epic. And also, we'll probably do our Thanksgiving Eve night Blood Rage commentary again. So just
Sweet.
a fun little hangout. I'm trying to do that every year. So
Yeah.
but all right. That's all we got for tonight. Again, check out Bell Classics tonight at midnight Central here on the channel. So take it easy, everyone.